When St. Lucia's political history books are read 100 years from now, there will be names that will appear and stories which will be told from generation to generation. How or whether a politician's name makes it into these journals is decided every 5 years. While some will work assiduously to be immortalized, others will put up effective opposition to ensure that their names appear. However, there are those whose names have already been cemented in the preliminary drafts of the manuscript. And rest assured, it does not necessarily have to take 53 years of service to make the list. The years 1951, 1954, 1979, 1997, and 2011 are sure to be featured prominently when St. Lucia's lapses and infelicities is read 100 years from now. During the 17th century, the Spanish, Dutch, French, and English sailed the waters of the Caribbean in search of what seemed to be the East. Uranora, with its beautiful coastlines, unspoilt rivers, and majestic rainforests, seemed to be the perfect place to stop. They certainly were not welcomed by the large Amerindian community between Micoud and Canals. The Amerindians and Europeans both loved the area because of its large rivers of fish and sheltered bays. This invasion of territory led the Caribs of Micoud to mount relentless attacks, assisted by Caribs of neighboring St. Vincent and Dominica. But alas, their bows and arrows were no match for the guns that soon turned against them. 3 centuries later, think Micoud, and images of a sleepy village punctuated by several tea cabarets, very little crime, a thriving banana industry, and Sir John Compton all flood your memory at once. Micoud North and South have been strongholds of the United Workers' Party since the party was first formed in 1964. After 33 years of representation, Sir John gracefully bowed out of the political arena. In 1997, the strong Labour breeze which swept the island was too immense to be contained by the 4,716 registered voters of Micoud South alike, and so the flame of the flambeau would be extinguished for the next 5 years. The incumbent Cassius Elias would face the United Workers' Party's Arsene James and independent candidate Lilia Harricksing, both of whom he defeated in 1997. But history would not be repeated. Micoud voters had reconciled with their party, thus giving Arsene James a resounding victory in the 2001 elections. In the 2006 general elections, the SLP offered up Eugene George, but Arsene's hold on the constituency had become overwhelming, affording George only 31% of votes cast, while Lilia Harricksing would receive the same percentage of votes she did in the 2001 polls, 4%. In 2011, Harricksing found favor in the St. Lucia Labour Party's lineup, and so she will face the incumbent Arsene James again, only this time wearing a conspicuous red shirt. Interestingly, even the opinion polls conducted by the opposition indicate that this seat will not be keenly contested.
Arsene James is from Micoud South. That's where he has lived all his life. He was born in the community of Deriso. He has worked with the people. He has been involved in community development. He identifies with the problems of the people, and he's willing to get solutions to problems which face the people.
What he has not said is that he never had the privilege of attending a secondary school, but that did not hinder him from obtaining his O-levels privately. He became a qualified teacher, acquired a bachelor's degree and master's in education from the University of Bristol in England. Arsene James has also graduated from Wolverton University, where he passed his law degree. Yes, you heard right, law degree with honors. The decline in banana revenues hurt most below the Farm Belt. As production and revenues nosedived, the parliamentary representative for Micoud South was facing an unusually high rate of unemployment in his constituency, generally among unskilled workers. St. Lucia's agricultural sector is dominated by banana production, which accounts for over 75% of agricultural activity for the island. Total banana exports in 2008 to the UK stood at over 38,000 tons. While the production of fruits and vegetables has traditionally been for the supply of the domestic market, structural shifts in the banana sector has seen a reduction in the number of banana farmers and a significant increase in the number of holdings contributing to the production of non-traditional crops. Thankfully, Arsene James' predicament is not unique. His approach to tackling this problem has been tried and proven.
We also want to develop what is known as an agro-based industry, where we are going to have value added to the agricultural sector.
In support of this initiative, a network of satellite agro-processing and marketing depots in key production areas are being set up. First among these is the conversion of the underutilized rural service centers at Arsene in Deriso to serve farmers in the southeastern part of the island. The outcome will enhance food security by increasing income, thereby improving the community's access to food. It will also reduce wastage and provide employment.
We have built this cocoa fermenting plant there. It will provide some jobs for some young people because they buy the cocoa wet. So the cocoa will be dried, it would be sorted out and graded, and it will be polished, it will be bagged, and then for shipment.